What's up? Sports Source back with another video, and today's live is the new team that I have put together with me. We will be doing 3 streams a week, possibly at least 2. Expect a Tuesday and a Saturday night one. But this week, since it's week 1, we're going to be doing a Thursday night one where we will actually be ranking the regular season rankings. But today's is the overview of what happened in the NFL season. Guys, who are you? Let's start off with Washington football team all the way on the right.
Sounds good. I'm WFT Punk. You probably heard of me. I've basically been doing Instagram, but I've been trying to dabble in YouTube and Twitch as well. But yeah, I'm the resident misfit punk of the NFL broadcasters, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
And then we have Ravens bias in the middle, as you guys can see names. Ravens, if you want to shout out your IG or whatever you have.
What's up, guys? It's Ravens Bias. Mainly, I just run this account ever since like 2020. Been a big fan of the NFL since I was like 7 years old. Been a big fan of football since I was just a newborn, pretty much. You know, whole family loved it. But thanks for having me on.
Yeah. So as I've stated, this is the team. We will have more people coming in and streams. As far as we know, we have 7 legit people. I know I have another one I'm naming off. I'm leaving off for the moment until we can figure out what we're doing over there with him. But yeah, today's overview. So if we want to talk about biggest storylines, let's start off with probably the biggest one of the season. Derrick Henry's injury for the Titans. And I'm going to say it's the biggest for his team at least because, let's be honest, if he comes into that game healthy 2 weeks ago, they might have won and they might have been in this week's game. But we can't do what ifs because that's not how we do it over here. We do it based on what happened. And yes, his injury was huge. He suffered a broken foot in week 9 or week 8 against the Colts. He only played 8 games in the regular season. And I think that's a huge thing to notice. You know, I think his injury was pretty bad in terms of what we really thought was happening. Yeah, I mean, what are you guys' thoughts? Eric or Ravens bias can start, whoever wants.
I guess I'll start on this one with Derrick Henry. It would just absolutely change the flow of the offense. It took a while within the regular season for the Titans to really gain a rhythm, and they finally seemed like they got a rhythm, got the first seed, and of course were able to get the bye on the wild card. But you could clearly see literally the limitations of Ryan Tannehill in the playoffs. You knew they missed Derrick Henry. Like, there wasn't that bowling ball running game going on that they were accustomed to. So,
Let's be honest, that offense, we knew it from the start. If they don't have Derrick Henry healthy, and I said it from the start, I said if he is going to have a big game, they're going to win. But the one stipulation I put on this game was if you put this ball out of Derrick Henry's arms and stuff, and he can't carry the load, this team will falter. And like I said, as we discuss this, we'll raise more questions. But let's be honest, this man proved himself as a bottom-tier quarterback. I'm sorry, but the playoffs is where it is. And yes, you had a regular season. I'm putting you in the tier with fucking Baker Mayfield. I get you can't get the job done. I'm sorry, man. And I get you got to the playoffs as the 1 seed, but where it really matters is winning in the playoffs. You could not get it done, and you are the simple reason this team lost. You have Julio Jones and A.J. Brown. And let me tell you something. He made terrible decisions. He was just an awful thrower. He had a wide-open tight end on the flat on a 3rd and 6, and he decided to throw into triple coverage. So his first play of the game was an interception. First play of the second half. And his final throw of the game was all interceptions. He cost his team huge. Ravens, you can give your thoughts on this now.
Yeah, pretty much. Tannehill is a bottom tier quarterback. I don't know why there was people. I was seeing posts of people saying, Tannehill, why he's arguably a top 10, maybe even top 5 quarterback, and they were like unbiased Titans pages too. And it's crazy to me people actually believe that after seeing, he only succeeds in a play action offense because he has Derrick Henry. If he didn't have a power ball running game, then he would be a mid tier quarterback like Baker Mayfield. He is not a good quarterback, and he's not the answer for the Titans. The Titans will never go anywhere with Ryan Tannehill at quarterback, and he's overpaid, one of the most overpaid quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yes. And I'm going to say this right now. Yes. I said it on my live. You guys heard me say this. You give Matt Ryan this offense, he wins this fucking game. I'm telling you right here, right now. I'm not saying Jimmy G's not winning this, but he has a better chance. And I know that, he played a good game in this past game. I'm just saying, from what I've seen, Matt Ryan definitely, if he was in this game and he was given that offense, he might have had to win. And something I've mentioned on other people's lives. Why did Donta Foreman get 4 fucking carries? He had 4 for 66. He was doing great. Give him outside runs. He's a fast, agile, quick running back that can get the ball to the outside and he can get big runs. You know what? Matt, I'm not calling this Mike Vrabel's team for loss. What happened to the offensive coordinator? What is his name? He was a part of the Raiders. Don't know his name. Don't care enough to know his name. He's a nobody. Okay, let me tell you something right now. I'm gonna blame the whole coaching staff. Okay, Derrick Henry is now acknowledged that he was not 100% healthy, and that's why he had metal plates in his foot, so he could be physical. But you know what? This was never a good opportunity to give him 20 carries. Okay. Give him 10 to 15. Give Donta Foreman the other carries to the outside. That's where he excelled, and he proved it.
Mm-hmm.
Poor game plan coming in. You know what? Can we go to the extent of saying this team choked? I don't know. I'm not going to say this team choked harder than what Patrick Mahomes did and Andy Reid did in their second half, but this was one of the worst choke jobs I saw in the playoffs, outside of the Packers, right? This was a game that should never should have gone into Derrick Henry's hands fully, because let's be honest, he wasn't 100% healthy coming back from that broken foot. Now, something I want to state, people don't acknowledge this, he is a momentum running back. What has he done ever in week 1 and 2? Nothing. He does nothing. He's one of the worst running backs among week 1s and week 2s. He's a momentum running back that gets going throughout the year, and that's where his stats come from, because he lights it up. And and this is not to take away from who he is. He's one of the best running backs in the league. Yes, I understand that, but he's a momentum running back. John Taylor, I think he proved that this season he wasn't a momentum running back. He was at least getting 70, 80 yards a game, and he was a really great running back. So could he be better than Derrick Henry when fully healthy? Possibly. I'm going to say that. That's just a hot take of mine. I think he could. Now, we're going to go to one that actually faltered in week 4 or 5. I had this written down. I don't know where it is, but Jackson Mahomes and Sean Taylor. Eric, you are a Washington football team fan. If you want, I'm going to give you the floor.
All right. So one thing I could easily say about this was, where was the security team in all this? That's one thing I want to say, because there should have been at least some security, because that was a memorial that should have been protected better. And I highly doubt anyone let Jackson Mahomes go into that memorial, especially to do a TikTok dance or whatever he did. But it would just
I'm sorry. His excuses, his apology was sorry as it can be. That man was arguably the greatest safety in Washington's history, and the security level was poor. It was sad. And this Washington football team owner, what the fuck are you doing? Whoever let Jackson Mahomes even on that field, you are a disgrace. How do you let this man? You know damn well this man wants to do TikToks, and he went on the field. You know what? I thought maybe he would have came out of that game in 2 pieces. He should have, because I'm telling you right now, Washington football teams fans, as mad as you guys were, you didn't show. You didn't show you was mad. Because this man should have came out of there probably in two pieces. You guys, the first mistake is letting him on the fucking field because we all know who this guy is.
I think you also got to remember that many of the fans there were actually Chiefs fans. Like there are hardly any of our fans in the stadium. So
yeah, right. Even if I'm a Chief fan, I would be pissed that you're doing this to another team's player. This was straight disrespect to the team and to the player. And Jackson Mahomes, I really don't know what your issue is. You're a TikToker. I'm going to compare it to Juju. You guys just have no ethic and morals, and it's sad because Juju he's a good receiver, but he would be better if he had a better attitude and put more of his energy to being a football player than a TikToker. Choose one of them. I'm sorry. If I'm the GM of any team, I'm telling you, choose one and get out of here if you want to choose TikTok. Because, seriously, this is pathetic. I'm sorry, that was horrible security. The security didn't even look like they gave a fuck. This is Sean Taylor we're talking about, and you guys don't care?
Mm-hmm. Literally one of the few players of the team that people outside the organization cared about. And literally, this was a retirement that was years in the making that could have been placed either against the Cowboys or anniversary of his death against the Seahawks. But no, they put it against the Chiefs and with 1 week notice too. How about
a game that's winnable? Like the Giants at home. That's a winnable game at home. You're telling me you want to do the Memorial, a game that you're going to get smoked? What?
Yeah.
Man, the 1 week notice is dude, Dan Snyder, man, just sell the team to someone who cares, who actually wants this team to succeed. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to stick on this topic right here. I'm going to stick on Washington football team because they butchered the name. They butchered everything. They don't seem like the management doesn't seem like they care about the team. And it's sad. It's almost like sometimes sometimes it seems like the Raiders management doesn't care. We'll get on the Raiders organization here in a bit, but Washington, dude, it's just a downhill coaster from week 1 to week now. Your week 1 game, what was that, win or a loss? What was it? It was a loss.
It was a close loss against the Chargers. Yeah.
And I said, I think this is when we met on your live that week 1 against the Chargers, when we actually officially met. Again, I said you need more weapons outside Terry McLaurin, and that's what your number one opportunity right now should be. Number 1, pay Terry McLaurin. He deserves the money.
Yep.
2, give him a capable receiver that will not only make the team better, but make his game go from good to hell. He's a top 10 receiver. Because I'm sorry, Washington, you guys can take this as a way of disrespect or a way of, I agree. I don't believe Terry McLaurin is a top 10 receiver this season. I think he had multiple of those games. And listen, I'm not saying that he couldn't be better, but again,
there were obviously factors that contributed to it, but
and I think 100%. I think he needs a capable wide receiver too. It's a big free agency. Go get I'm not mad if you guys go get an Allen Robinson. Pair him up with a guy, and these are two quarterbacks two wide receivers that have never worked with a great quarterback. Give him Desmond Ridder. I think he can be your quarterback, and I think right now this is your free agency. Go sign a veteran receiver or quarterback, develop him under, and then next year throw Desmond Ridder into fire with Antonio Gibson and see what you can build around it. Because I'm sorry, this team's quarterback future is not Taylor Heinicke. I don't believe it. And I know Washington fans have said it is, but I don't believe it should be, nor has it been.
As a backup, yes, but as a starter, no way.
I like him as a backup. If I look at a Tyrod Taylor, another guy I love as a backup. That's just how it works. Marcus Mariota, a backup. There's just those quarterbacks that I think are backups. Jimmy G, a backup. But you look at younger guys, and I think Tua is a capable starter. I think Kyle Trask, who is behind Tom Brady for the past year, I think he's a capable starter. And we'll get into that, what I saw today. But if you want Ravens bias, you can give your opinion on this Jackson Mahomes if you want. Sorry about that.
I mean, literally all it is it's so annoying to the fact that he's let this get to his head so much that he thinks it's okay to stand on a memorial of somebody who everybody in the stadium knows and everybody in the NFL knows and loves. And honestly, just spread that out and branch it out. I just hate I hate the Brittany Mahomes and I hate Jackson Mahomes. I love Mahomes himself because he's just a good dude. He's just a genuine, awesome player. But I cannot stand his family members. The team would be so much more likable if it wasn't for them too. So I cannot believe that, and they just let him stand on it. So it's disrespectful as hell, man.
Not only did they let him stand on it, they let him dance. Sorry, they let him dance.
Yeah,
I mean, okay,
bad.
The moment he enters the memorial, why isn't there security? Hey, out, off the field. Why is he on the field? I don't care if he's a brother of Patrick Mahomes. Get him off the field. This is a TikToker. But, and then to say he did. What was the excuse? Oh, I didn't know. I was just doing a TikTok dance. No one cares. Your excuses. Literally. How about this? You just straight up apologize and say you're not going to do this stupid shit again. He didn't care what he did. He knew the moment he got away with it, he was okay. Ravens, if you want to say anything else, I'll let you.
I mean, I don't really have much else to say. Y'all already said enough.
Yeah. So we can talk about. If you want, we can either go to the Bengals, the Raiders, or the Ravens. One of those three. I don't know. I mean, do we want to start with my team because it was the earliest in the year? Ravens. You want to talk about the Ravens? Yeah. So,
sure.
If you can start Ravens since this is your team.
Okay. So pretty much, this team showed a lot of heart and a lot of grit and everything, and it's impressive. You know, even though it's a disappointing season because we started off the season with high expectations, with everybody coming back after 2020 with the wild card win, Lamar Jackson got his first win. It was all looking up from there. But then stuff happened in the preseason, lost Marcus Peters, J.K. Dobbins, Justice Hill, and Gus Edwards all to ACL tears.
Yes.
Which something has to be going on with the field. Something needs to be done. And the strength and conditioning coach needs to be looked into because there's no reason why they should be getting hurt with no pads.
No, yes. I was going to say also, I've said this about two fields. One, 100%. Burn down the Giants and Jets stadium. Please, burn it down. It is one of the worst stadiums in the NFL. It is. And I think that's unarguable.
Don't forget the football team. We need.
Yeah, don't forget our field. Our field's pretty atrocious.
That's what I was going to say next. That field, I didn't even get to say my
has ended careers.
Dude,
yeah.
So we had what? Not Kirk Cousins. Alex Smith. So
I can name them all. You got Alex Smith, Joe.
I think I can name
Joe Burrow,
Chase Young,
and honestly,
RG3 as well.
Yeah,
RG3 also has.
I'm sorry. And listen, these are stadiums, but God, I'm sorry, these cannot be qualified fields of the NFLPA. These have to be looked into this offseason, and they have to get them actual better turf. I'm sorry. No way in hell. And I mean, the strength and conditioning coaches, every single team that actually suffered. This isn't the first season, though. This is what my point is with the Ravens. Who is your strength and conditioning coach? Because right now, he needs to be fired. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and they said they're going to keep him, too.
This is two straight seasons.
They said they're going to plan on keeping him.
I'm sorry, but let me keep it real with you guys. I believe this team will come back and get more injuries. I'm not saying I want injuries, but as long as you have that poor condition coach, it's not. I don't think it's the field as much as the strength and conditioning coach in your guys' case. I think Washington straight up the field needs to be burnt to Chris. I'm sorry, it's just horrible.
Yeah.
But the Ravens, I mean, God, we've known this guy, and this guy has a history of his teams being injured. So why are we looking back on it and saying, yes, I want to keep this guy who gets our players injured and where we're never fucking healthy? Do you want to win a fucking championship or what? I'm sorry, Jim Harbaugh. And you're also keeping your offensive coordinator.
Exactly.
What is going on? I don't know what it is. You fired your defense coordinator or parted ways with him, who, let's be honest, was perfectly fine. I'm sorry, he was. And you're okay with firing your offense? You're not.
I don't
you
know
won't-
about that. I don't know. I
Okay,
don't know if you can say
I'm
the
saying-
defensive coordinator is perfectly fine because of his situational play calling.
Yeah, I get that. I'm going to put into the terms of this. What he had to deal with this year, and he still had a top 15 defense, I think is great. But yes, you can look back on moments. I understand. But if I am Jim Harbaugh, I am firing my offense coordinator in a heartbeat.
John Harbaugh.
John Harbaugh. Jesus, we've heard the Harbaugh brothers brought up so much this offseason, right? I'm firing my offense coordinator in a heartbeat before I even talk to my defense coordinator. Because I'm sorry, that offense was horrible at times. It was. And I think it's just the poor play calling by your offense coordinator. But if there's anything else you want to add on,
all of us want Roman gone. He's been abysmal, and you can look at the past. The past proves that he will never get a championship. He was there with Kaepernick on that super 49ers team. Didn't get it done. He's there now on the 2019 team. That was the best team we've had since 2012, and he couldn't get it done because all he knows how to do is make run plays. He has the worst pass scheming in the league. I'm sick of him. We're all sick of him. I think the wide receivers coach, T. Martin, to be promoted.
Yeah. So as I look at this, right, I think he needs to pull. I think whoever your offense coordinator is needs to look at what Josh McDaniels did with his offense. I think this is a play action personnel offense. You get Marquise on the deep route. You get Rashad Bateman on the shorter routes. You get Mark Andrews on the shorter routes into the flats. This is an offense that can excel in a run-heavy play-action offense. But no, let's go draw up like plays that make no sense. And listen, all respect, you guys were 8-3. What happened when Lamar went out? I get Marlon Humphrey went down too. Like, what was this? I don't know what this was. One of the worst years I've seen. But again, something I've even said, I just don't like to blame injuries. I like to blame, what could have been. I get next man up mentality is the only mentality you should have in the NFL. If you're part of the NFL, your next man up mentality is the only mentality that should ever been put out. And I think John Harbaugh made some questionable decisions throughout the year. The Pittsburgh first game, he went for 2. You don't have to go for 2. You can go into overtime, and if you win that toss, you can go down and score. I'm just saying. Yes, we'll talk more on the overtime.
But you gotta understand. You gotta understand though, because the reason he did that is because we had no corners, literally none.
Yeah, I get
I
get
corners.
That.
Everybody was hurt.
I get it.
We didn't have enough.
Yeah, I know. I get it. I get it. I understand that. We'll see what you guys do this offseason. But God, I mean, number one move should have been to fire your conditioner coach. Like, God, I mean, how can you be so bad at strength and conditioning to the point where you lose 4 guys to ACL tears? Like, what? I don't know. That's horrible. Washington, you can bring up any points I haven't brought up.
Well, I don't know if there's a whole lot to bring up, but yeah, obviously Greg Roman is a major problem on the offense. They have to nail the defensive coordinator because that's what they can control. Because
actually,
yeah,
it's the Michigan defense coordinator from this past year. He is being brought in.
Okay, an interesting
I
hire.
got Joe Cullen, but he's a good defensive coordinator because he was what's it called? He was the guy who was here for us the year before, and he went to Michigan and he developed Aiden Hutchinson and David Ojabo into top 10 picks.
Well, David Ojabo probably won't be a top 10 pick, but
but top 10 potential is what I'm saying.
Yes, well, I'm gonna say he'll be a first rounder, and I don't know what is the Ravens pick this year. Do they have one? What is it?
14.
You know who I really think you guys should go after? I think you guys should go after a D lineman. Because actually, I think
only if there's a good one available.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, so, Calais Campbell has said he would retire, right? That's what I saw throughout the year. I think he is going to retire.
Possibly.
Yes, but if he retires, my point is, imagine you have David Ojabo there, or a George Karlaftis or something like that, right? I mean, then you probably pick one of those
Karlaftis
guys.
won't drop out of the top 10.
I don't know,
think
man.
What we have to do is we have to hope for DeMarvin Leal. We have to hope for him to be there at 14. If he's there, that's the pick I want no matter what.
Yeah. I get that.
Or Tyler Linderbaum. Because honestly, center play has not been exceptional. And it honestly has been nothing but poor play. So I'd much rather have the best center we've seen.
I get what you're saying. I think Tyler Linderbaum is a great center. Now, if I'm being honest, we've seen what the Giants have said. They're gonna go O-line, and they might as well go Tyler Linderbaum. He's the best center in this draft. You can be honest with it yourself. Evan Neal is the best tackle in this draft.
Yeah, but I think they're gonna go Kenyon Green out of Texas A&M because they need a guard more than they need a center. That's a more
I think they have two top 5 picks.
Yeah, they'll probably go guard and tackle or guard and safety because I'm telling you right now, if Kyle Hamilton is available at all for the Giants, they're taking him. Kyle Hamilton's probably the best player in this draft.
He's not going 1. This guy will be at the best. Now look, a guy I think that could fall because of the play he had this year is Kayvon. He wasn't exceptional. He wasn't a game changer, and everyone said he was. He never, not once this year, showed to me he was a game-changing athlete guy that could make big plays. Aiden Hutchinson did, and I think that's 100% going to be the pick at number 1 from the Lions. He's from Michigan.
Jaguars pick 1.
Jaguars
are going to be. No. Yeah.
Yeah, the Jaguars are first, and then the Lions are second.
Hutchinson or Neal.
Neal won't go. I think there's one position, right, in the NFL that you should never draft number 1. Well, there's 2. To me, on the offense, never should draft running back or wide receiver number 1. I'm sorry, that will never happen. I don't think it'll ever happen again, right? It shouldn't happen, right? I mean, unless you're like a Kelvin Johnson or a Jerry Rice. I'm saying, but I don't think that'll happen. This draft class, though, at wide receiver, it's loaded. I'm telling you, it's going to have another one of those guys. And I'm not saying it's going to be like the next Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson, let's be honest, from his draft class, should never have been a second-round pick. That man is the best receiver from that class. From last year's class, it was Jamar Chase. And what was he?
The best class was the one with DK Metcalf.
No,
and
I said what I was saying was the best wide receiver from this class, from the last class. It was Jamar Chase.
Oh,
yeah. I was about to say, wait, who was better than him? Well, it was, I think, Jamar Chase, and it was Jalen Waddle.
You could argue Waddle.
Jamar Chase was a bit better because he did have over 1,010 touchdowns. Jalen Waddle, though.
But then you got to think, they played it with 2 different quarterbacks. Like, if you give Jalen Waddle, Joe Burrow, and that team with all those other receivers,
I'm just saying from what we saw.
Jalen Waddle's going to win.
But what I'm saying is Jamar Chase this year was the solidified best receiver. And then you can say it's Jalen Waddle and then Devontae Smith, unless I'm missing.
Either Devontae Smith, maybe Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, man, he went crazy this year. But we'll talk more on, we'll bring up as we talk more debates to really debate. But the initial talk we were having was the Ravens, and somehow we got into the ranking receivers. So let's cut that off. Anyways, so we've already talked Derrick Henry, Jackson Mahomes, and the Ravens 6-game losing streak, which did end their season. They had a great season. I think this next year will be a great year. But again, it's being brought down
to health.
And it just comes down to health. And number one thing I don't believe in this offense or this team is staying healthy. And number 2 is having one of the better offenses in the league. I just don't believe in it. I get, Lamar can only do so much, though. I'm sorry. He can only do so much. And we'll see. But If we want, we can move on to the.
Oh, trust me, Lamar's going to be much better. Lamar's going to be 10 times better than he was this year with his 16 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. He had the one good game against the Colts, which showed sprites of bursts of potential in the passing game. And honestly, I think with all the guys back, he's going to play so much better because he's going to have Dobbins, he's going to have Edwards, he's going to have chemistry. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, what I'm saying is, I just don't believe in the offense I don't know. It's just it's going to be limited because you have your offense coordinator, which I still am just looking back on it. It's like, what is going on over there, man? But we can either now, well, you know what? We'll talk the Raiders' downfall, right? Not my favorite talk, right? But it had its rise at the end when I didn't believe in it. I will admit I didn't believe in it. But one thing I gotta state right now before I say anything else. God, Josh McDaniels, the one hire I want you to make isn't from the outside. It's from the inside. I want you to bring back Rich Bisaccia. I saw one of the biggest stories of the year I saw one of my favorite stories I've read of the year. It was Nate Hobbs. I think both of you guys saw this on my story today. I'm going to read it off because I actually like Dear Coach, honestly, I don't know where to begin. So I'll just start by saying I love you. That's a common theme along all sides, all players. Rich Bisaccia was said to have pushed the team harder than anyone else within the organization at the end of the year, better than Gruden has ever pushed it. Apparently, Gruden was lightening up on the team. Never should happen. I don't know why. If you're a coach, why are you lightening up on the team? Push them harder. They're gonna only get better as the season goes on, unless you're lightening up on them and they're not putting full effort. So Nate Hobbs goes on to talk about how Rich Bisaccia was his first ever father figure in his life. This man has brought so much to this team, and I don't know why he hasn't been brought back. Let's be honest. I do not believe he will be hired as a head coach. And at that point, if you're Rich Bisaccia and you say you love these guys and you're being offered other jobs at the same position, why not go back to the team that you have brought so much chemistry, so much he brought this team together and they fought harder than ever. And we saw this during the final 5 weeks. Okay? So I want him brought back. I really do. I think he's the best special teams coach in the league. I really do. I think he is that. And this, I think the guys fought hard during those final 4 weeks. We had wins maybe we shouldn't have had. The Ravens, the Cowboys, the Colts. Maybe we shouldn't have won that game, but we did. We fought harder than ever. We had games that we fought hard and we played in, and maybe shouldn't have been in, but we did, and we fought hard, right? In that final game that we had, the Bengals, we almost took them to overtime, and that was the team that just won the AFC,
which they should have won. They should have won.
I've said before,
should have won that game.
We got cheated out of that game, and you know what? You cannot change my mind. The refs blowing the whistle, I get it. You made a mistake, you blew the whistle, but I don't care. The rule in the rule book says if it is blown before out of the quarterback's hands, it is a blown dead play, right? Right? If it's the initial words, I don't know the full words, but it was blown before the play. It was over. It wasn't over before the whistle was blown. So, yes, the play has to be replayed. And then you look back on the Hunter Renfrow deep catch, and they ruled that back. Don't know how you ruled that back, but NFL, you pulling anything out of your ass to hurt the Raiders. And Charles Woodson said, Bear, you ever wonder why the Raiders fans complain? Well, this is fucking why. Because these refs were horrible.
Yeah, because the tuck rule, too.
And the NFL, this might have been the first time I've ever respected the NFL because they brought back and they said, yes, these refs made terrible calls and they suspend them for the rest of the playoffs and maybe even in the next year. I hope these refs never come back because you know what? The refs I want to see are the refs that refed the game between the Rams and the 49ers. You know what they didn't do in that game? They didn't get in the middle of it and they didn't make one team win. There was 5 penalties between the teams. When have we ever seen that?
It's been a while, man.
The refs were abysmal all fucking year. And the best game of the year was the NFC Championship. I'm sorry. If you don't agree, I don't know what to tell you. These refs didn't get in the middle of the game. And you know what? It was brought to my attention by Chief fans that Joe Mixon fumbled in overtime. And you know what? He did. Chiefs, yes. Now you know how it feels to get cheated out. So you know what, Bengals? Congrats to your AFC Championship, but I don't respect it. I'm sorry, I don't. You cheated out 2 teams.
Exactly.
That's right.
I can't stand it. They got a Mickey Mouse run, bro. They should not
And I'm
be where
sorry,
they're at right now.
you can call me whatever the fuck you want, but you guys didn't even deserve the win against the fucking Raiders. You know what? Call me crazy, but I think we would have beaten the Titans too. I think we would have beaten the fucking Titans. I'm sorry. You call me crazy, but we could have beaten the Titans. With how abysmal they played,
Raiders just don't deserve where they're at right now.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't know. You can call me crazy, but the Bengals, the replay was shown to me, and I called the Chief fan crazy. I'm sorry. I called you crazy because I didn't see the fumble, but when he fell on that big ass run that he had in overtime, he didn't get touched by the Chief player. He didn't. And the Chiefs knew this. You know what the NFL said to him? You know what they said to Andy Reid? We don't do reviews in overtime. Let me tell you something. Overtime rules, this is what I'm going to get into next, because you know what? This needs to be talked about. Number 1, both teams need the ball once at least. If the first team doesn't score and the second team does, sure, end overtime. I don't care. But if the first team scores, give the ball to the other team. I'm really thinking, I'm telling you right now, I really do believe the Buffalo Bills could have won that game against the Chiefs too. I really do believe that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't get it. I'm sorry. Sean McDermott, if you say you're the leader you are, I would have loved to see you come into that press conference, and I would have loved to see you giving props to your team, your offense. And then you would have said, I failed this team. Because you know what? You played cover 0 defense. You left fucking Travis Kelce in the flats wide the fuck open for a 20 fucking yard gain, and you let them come in 13 seconds. Right?
Yep.
You lost this game. Nobody else. You.
Literally, Josh Allen and Gabriel Davis were doing their best to win it too. So yeah.
I mean,
I think those two absolutely.
And I'm sorry, but I think at least one coach challenge needs to be given for either team in overtime to review a play. Right? I think that's another rule that just needs to change. You can't tell a coach that was a clear fumble. So we were honestly, in all fairness, you know what the AFC Championship could have been? Could have been the Bills and the Raiders. I'm not saying I would have liked that. I think it would have been a good matchup. But what I'm saying is the Raiders were. I mean, they were fighting harder than ever, and they showed the fight. This was a team. Week 14. What were we said? We were out of the playoffs. We had a 5% chance. You know what happened? We won out, and we got in the fucking playoffs. And it pisses me off because we were chucked out of so many games by these refs. I mean, God. You know what? The first fan base to text me when we lost in the first round, it was them sissy-ass cowgirl fans. Shut the fuck up. Y'all are first-round exits every fucking year.
That's the NFC East in a nutshell.
Bro. And the first – you know what? And then I had Eagle fans. Shut the fuck up. Y'all haven't done shit in, 5 years? Doug Peterson was your coach. What?
And that's looking more and more like a fluke as time passes.
I think Doug Peterson deserves a job today. I'm not going to lie. I would take him as an offense coordinator right now for the Raiders. Him and McDaniels.
Offense coordinator, yeah.
I think because you look at what he did with that Eagles teams, the teams he took to the playoffs, those weren't the best teams. But you know what? He made the offenses pretty good. He loves play-action offenses. You give him McDaniels in that front office, a guy who I think could work out. And for anyone who has listened to my lives and thinks I'm crazy because I said I didn't think it would, listen, if he excels in offense and he brings in the right guys, yes, I'm fine with it. But come on, if you think I don't want it to work out, you're crazy. I want to, but everything is against him. You know what? We'll see what happens. I want it to work out. But if you give him a Doug Peterson next to him, because I think Mike McDaniel's going to be the next head coach of the Dolphins, if I'm being honest, from what it looks like. Sure.
Possibly.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I think this was the most Mickey Mouse run I have ever seen out of a team. And you're telling me, I don't think they would have been the Titans with Matt Ryan or any other quarterback, really. I think, dude, or a healthy Derrick Henry. And this isn't to say, yes, I don't agree. Yes, 100%. It was a great game, great year by the Bengals. Yes, they deserve what they've gone through hell, right? They've been waiting for this chance, and I'm happy for you guys that you're there. But from everything I've seen, the refs got you. The refs got you where you are. I'm not unfair to say that. They got you where you are. No one else got you where you are. The refs have saved you. You can.
I'm not happy for the Bengals where they're at. I've been rooting against them every single week, man. It's impossible. They don't lose, and it's so annoying. Like, can we stop this Joe Shiesty and Joe Burr shit? Like, it's one of the most annoying things I've ever heard in recent history.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm on your side with that. Yes, that's the most annoying thing I think I've ever seen. So let Ravens, you can give your full thoughts. Let's go full out because you know what? I don't care. You can cuss all you want. This is the show of the year, man. Okay, Ravens bias. Let's give your full thoughts on the Raiders, right? Because we can our next topic, sadly, is the Bengals. I'm John. I respect you guys. I respect the hell out of you guys, right? Sure, whatever. You want me to say that? Fuck it, right?
And they beat the Chiefs, so I can always respect them for that.
Yeah, fuck the Chiefs, right? That's all. That's one thing we can all agree on. Fuck the Chiefs. Anyways, Ravens bias or Eric, you can go on to talk
about. I was going for the Chiefs, so.
Well, okay, in any other game.
Desperate. I was going for them.
But let's be honest. And against any other team in the AFC Championship, fuck the Chiefs. Because you know what? If that was the Bills, I'd be okay with them. I would have loved to see Josh Allen. Because you know what? His defense gave him. I mean, dude, Gabriel Davis, man, you saved Stephon Diggs, man. But Ravens bias or Eric, you can give me your thoughts on the Raiders' downfall. Because let's keep it real, right? Henry Ruggs. I'm gonna end off with this, right? Damon Arnett, your career's over. Henry Ruggs, your career's over. John Gruden,
Your career's probably over, yeah.
I'm sorry, Roger Goodell, can you go fuck yourself, please? Stay out of the Raiders organization. Fuck you. So you mean to tell me you can only find these emails in John Gruden? What about Robert Kraft? What about Jerry Jones? I mean, he's out here winning a game and kissing other dudes. Go check his emails. God. Go. What about Dan Snyder?
They've already kind of checked Dan Snyder's. They're just hiding those.
Oh, yeah, no. Dan Snyder's probably – I don't know what he's doing to –
There's probably a lot of skeletons, but yeah.
I don't know what he's doing to Roger Goodell behind the scenes, but he's doing something. He's keeping his job. So let's go to one of you guys. What do you guys think about this Raiders team, right? How it fell apart to go into one of the best teams in the league, hottest teams in the league at the end of the year.
Initial reaction, definite disappointment considering Rich Bisaccia was obviously the player's coach. They wanted him back, so there was that.
And you know my record. I at first hated the hire that we had, but
yeah.
Now it's a review. Let's see what he does on the field. I don't care what he does during preseason or training camp. Bring in the right personnel that you say you can win with. Because you said you and Dave Ziegler are going to make the personnel changes. Go make the right ones, okay? Yep. And the only one I want to see you guys make within the next week, bring back the guy that everybody fucking loves, Rich Bisaccia. Because let's be honest, I don't think he's getting a head coach job. And that's not to say I don't want him to. I'm rooting for him. But do I believe he will? No. If I am the Jags, you cannot let Leftwich. You cannot let Leftwich leave without a contract. Because I'm sorry, because you just got to do one thing there. Go fire Jim Balk, and you have your head coach.
Trent
Why
Balk.
are you even? I'm sorry. Why are you even are you even going after Rich Bisaccia? Go hire fucking Leftwich. I'm sorry. Yes, as much as I love Bisaccia, your best chances to win is Leftwich. And
or if he can somehow convince Harbaugh to come over, but I don't see that happening.
Well, he might be going either Miami, which I think should have been announced by now. Let's be honest. I don't know why they're looking. Unless something's going on that we don't know, and we've seen it. Maybe something's going on, man. Miami, what, man? New York. That's what I want to mention. We'll talk about that. That's a different topic, right?
Yeah.
But yes, Raiders. From the initial thoughts that we had from week 7 to week 18, what were your thoughts? I mean, like, what? I mean,
well,
yeah.
There was plenty of drama abound with the John Gruden stuff, and then also a whole other can of worms that just goes into pretty much the rest of the NFL. But then there was the Henry Ruggs situation, which, yeah, that definitely absolutely hurt their offense because they lost that deep threat that they had. Yeah. So there was that. But this team was fighting hard. Like, even if they did have losses, they would have strong wins, and then they had that win streak to end the season to get into the playoffs. Had that excellent season finale with the Chargers, and then of course the postseason. It was not entirely their fault. It literally looks like the refs were trying to do everything they can to make sure the Raiders did not advance. Which, yeah, absolutely, like, pointless penalties. And then after that, it seemed like there was some optimism that Bisaccia would stay. There was also optimism that Ed Dodds would be the general manager. And then the disappointment, at least initially, that Josh McDaniels would be the coach. And then I can't even remember the GM's name as general manager. But it seems like more of a wait-and-see process.
Yeah, no, it's a wait-and-see process. I'll be honest. I looked more into Ziegler, and I'm excited if he gets the right personnel and he gets the right team here, right? I think he has a chance to win. He can win with this team, right? He said believes he can win with Derek Carr. I don't know where that belief came from, but you know what? Whatever, right? Not hating on Derek Carr. I just don't believe we're going to win a title with him. I mean, I've said on video, Raider fans, you can come at me all you want. You also came at me for what I said today. I no longer want Devontae Adams. I don't believe any receiver should ever be paid $30+ million. You call me crazy. Nope. We have $54 million right now, right? We're only going to have $42 million. Let me be real, right? The guys that we should bring back are Quentin Jefferson, Casey Hayward, and if we have to, I think it's Denzel Perryman. He is only on a 1-year contract. I would extend him for at least 2 to 3 more years. Pro Bowl, he was really good this year. I just think if you bring back the guys that you should, then yes, I mean, you're going to have less than $40 million to an extent. You might have only $36, $37 million, and you're going to pay all that money to one guy. Let me keep real, right? I think the guys that you should go after are potentially trading for Calvin Ridley. You can go sign Allen Robinson for less than $10 million, maybe like $7-8 million a year. I'd be fine with paying him. You could go get DJ Chark for $45 million, maybe. I don't know what we're going to get him on. There's the Brandon Cooks thing where we could go. The best case scenario possibly would probably be signing. You could just say maybe trading for Calvin Ridley and signing like I'm trying to think. Who would I rather have? Calvin Ridley. I mean, you can say
Brandon Cooks. I think you said Brandon Cooks. You mentioned him.
Yeah, no. I mean, it comes down for me between the wide receiver
Russell
two.
Gage.
I think he's still on the team there. I think he's gonna stick around. I don't know. We'll see, right? If we can't trade for Calvin Ridley, I think a pretty great trio under $30 million combined for the core that I think you could sign for is Allen Robinson, Brandon Cooks at wide receiver 2, Renfrow in the slot, 4 and 5. You can say I'm a guy that's under $1 million. And Tyron Johnson, who's really fast, he's your field spacer, right? In a way, right? He's the guy that's going to open the field, and then you have wide receiver 4 potentially actually would be Brian Edwards. That's the guy. That's the team I really want the wide receiver. The guys who want Adams and they think Adams and Renfro are going to get it done. I don't believe in that duo to win, right? I'm not saying I don't believe in them to win. I'm just saying I don't believe they're going to – that's the best core you can get because that's $40 million combined between two receivers. When you can have a core that's probably like $33 million, which I'd rather have. For people who don't think this is important, what if Devontae goes down? Then you're stuck again with the same shit. Edwards and Renfro. I'm sorry, I will not do that again. That didn't work out this season, and it won't work out. I'm sorry, Edwards. I believe in you, but I don't believe in you to hell. You ain't. I don't believe you're going to be a wide receiver 1. You'll be a wide receiver 2 or 3 at the best in your career, right?
Mm-hmm. I think to ease your concerns, I think Devontae Adams wants to stay with Aaron Rodgers.
You forgot about
unless you decide to get Aaron Rodgers too.
What's up?
No.
Well,
Ravens bias. If you want to mention Zay Jones.
Yeah, I don't know. It's an expired contract, and to me, if he wants more than $3-4 million, I wouldn't do it just because he was so inconsistent. He played 2 great games this year. I think he's worth less than $1 million.
I want
if so. On the Ravens, I don't know. To me, it's just like you don't need. I don't know. It's just we'll see what the Raiders do. I don't think we should pay $30 million to Devontae Adams. I really don't think he's worth it in a way of I'm sorry, you're a great receiver, but to me, I'm not willing to pay one receiver $30 million. Then you have the wide receiver core maybe equaling damn near $50 million. Never should happen. That's what is that, like a fifth of your fucking cap space? Jesus, damn, that's one position, dude. Ravens bias, if you want to talk your idea, on the Raiders, you can.
There's not much. I'd say the only thing is about this season is the world comes around like it should. The Raiders probably shouldn't have beat the Chargers, so they didn't let them beat the Bengals.
Like I said, we outplayed the Chargers all game until the fourth quarter, and then now we got, like I said, I think
Herbert
we were,
built different. I love Herbert.
Well, one question I was always raised about him was could he get the job done? And so far, I think he's proved he can't get it done for the moment. We'll see. He was surrounded by a great team, and he should have made the playoffs by now. So we'll see. Yes, I 100% still believe we got fucked over by the refs. If you don't believe so, suck a dick. Move on. I don't care. Now,
if you're not one of those teams, let's just say this real quick. If you're not one of those teams who has the young quarterbacks from the past draft classes, I feel bad because it's going to be hard to get a young quarterback and become competitive immediately because it's only the teams with Herbert, Allen, Mahomes, Jackson, and if somebody gets Watson. Those are the only, and Burrow too. Those are the only teams that are going to be good, like for the foreseeable future, because you're going to have to get a rookie quarterback, and you don't know how long that'll take to develop. So I just feel bad for any team that doesn't already have their star quarterback.
Listen, this draft class. You can go get Desmond Ridder, Kenny Pickett, Matt Corral. Those are probably the only 3 great quarterbacks out of this draft class.
But none of those guys are going to be.
I don't think any of them are going to be year 1 starters. Like they have to develop at least.
Like I said, you don't need that. You don't. Like I said, the Raiders don't. Like I said, the Raiders probably don't need that though. They don't really need a rookie quarterback. They don't. They can go get. Listen, my point is right. They can go draft like a quarterback in round 2 to 3, develop him under Carr for the next year or 2, and then you'll see them maybe next year. I don't know, but what I'm saying is that's not what McDaniels needs, right? Because
there's not going to
be Carr. Listen, Carr won with one of the worst offenses. If they can actually surround him with a good receiving core and an old line, we'll see what happens. And a better defense, because we'll see what happens. But I think this is the best. I think we'll have the best team we've had in years on end if we can actually make this a win. Because Ziegler has proved he can. What did he just do with the Patriots? He went from 4-12 to 11-6. He in one offseason. So. Yeah. I think he can do wonders for this team. Because you've seen the receivers around the league. They've been talking about this hire. So you know why they're talking about the hire? Because they might want to work with Ziegler and McDaniels and this team. I think it opened up more opportunities, to be honest. But if you guys want, we can mention the Bengals this season, the regular season wise. I will be right back. Eric or Ravens bias can start off with this convo. I will come back in a second. Okay.
All right. So I guess I'll start off with the Bengals.
You can start off because I
definitely-
hate the Bengals.
Okay, I'll just talk, I guess. But yeah, an absolute surprise this season. Like I felt they were going to be better, but I didn't think they were going to make it to the Super Bowl, which somehow they have. And don't worry, I'll let you roast them after I get done with them, but I'm not going to roast them, but yeah, their offense, they have a young offensive core with Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and then they also have Tyler Boyd, who is the wily vet who's kind of taking the backseat with the two new rookie receivers. And then their defense, especially in the playoffs, has definitely clamped down, been a lot better, and they have guys like Jesse Bates on there. So plenty of potential with this team in the future if they play their cards right. And I know you hate to hear that because they're in your division. Trust me, I have many problems in my division as well. So, yeah, we'll probably get into that to Thursday. But really, it's just they have so many young pieces to build around, like the Bengals, which makes them a potentially frightening team for at least the next few years. And if they play the cards right, the next 10 years, if all goes according to plan, because they already have the franchise quarterback, they already have those pieces. So definitely a pleasant surprise. Well, for me, probably a nightmare scenario for you, but yeah, just been impressed with how they were able to play this season. I mean, I know they kind of had some bailouts, particularly with the Raiders game, but yeah, still it takes a lot to get to the Super Bowl, and they managed to get there, and very impressive, especially considering they beat the Chiefs in the AFC Championship. So I guess those are my 2 cents, just the positive, and now we can get to the negative. But
What, you want me to do
yeah,
the
I'll let you
negative
talk.
part?
Well, you can do whatever you want with the Bengals, because yeah, I figure you have the most negative to
let's
say.
be honest. I'm not gonna have much good things to say about them. Yeah, I'll say, yeah, they had a good season. But let's be honest, man. The only reason that they even made it this far, because in the division, it was literally whoever will stay the most healthy is winning the division. And
True.
they stayed the most healthy out of anybody. And nobody can tell me differently. Because the Ravens had they had almost record players on IR. The Steelers, they were having a down year because Big Ben's regressing and getting ready to retire. And the Browns, they're just Browns. They're browning it up like they do every year. Get their expectations high up, and then they come back down to earth. Baker Mayfield's never going to take the Browns anywhere. So the Bengals just got lucky. They got a
What's up?
fluke year for themselves because all of us are injured. So as soon as we come back and get all of our guys back, I can guarantee you that the Bengals will not be seeing that AFC North crown for at least another 2 to 3 years. Because
Which I
us
can
or the
definitely see
Browns are
that
gonna
as well.
start winning it. And
And the Steelers, they're going to have either Mason Rudolph or Dwayne Haskins if they don't get a quarterback. So, and I don't have hope in either of those two.
Yeah. So I walked in here and Ravens, right? I'll keep it
Yeah,
real.
he was doing the negative. I did the positive.
No. Listen. I actually agree with Ravens here. I'm telling you right now, the Ravens were only 8-9, right? And let's be honest, if they never lost Jackson, they probably still would have won the AFC. I said the AFC South. I meant AFC North, whatever. Listen, I think that they're my favorites right now. If they're fully healthy next year, they're my favorites to go win the AFC North.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's that team can't stop the run.
they're my favorites to win the Super Bowl.
No, I don't think they will.
You say we can't stop the run? Did you say we can't stop the run?
No, I was saying the Bengals.
Oh yeah. No, the Bengals can't do shit against it.
No, that's my point. Next year, We'll see what they do. I don't believe in them as a team to go for the future and to go win
Bengals are not coming near to this kind of success ever again. Not until
They could
20
make the
years
playoffs
down
a time or
the
two,
road.
but
They are not replicating this kind of success. Yeah, but they're not going to have like a legendary season where they go all the way to the Super Bowl. They're not doing this again. The division is too much parity in the NFL for a team to just replicate something like this again. And I think it's time.
True.
The Ravens deserve to, it's been 11 years or something like that. Our time is due. The Bengals have had enough success this year. They've had their fluke success. Enjoy it while they can. It's time for the Ravens to come back and take what's rightfully theirs. And, as soon as we get, like, the grooves out of the way, like the offense, and fix some of those things, you can say we're probably not going to win the Super Bowl, but I'd say we're AFC's best contender just because the AFC has no clear, like, best team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Bengals, I think this was their one season. And, I mean, that's not to say they can't come back. But who is your favorite next year out of the NFL playoff teams, who will come back and have even probably more success next year?
AFC or NFC?
Let's start off with AFC, right? Out of the Titans, Bengals, Chiefs, Raiders, who am I forgetting? Bills, Patriots,
and Steelers.
And Steelers. What team do you guys think has the brightest future?
Well, the team that's going to come back and make the biggest splash and make even more success, I think it's going to be the Bills. It's got to be the Bills. Like, they showed that they're one of the best teams in the NFL by keeping up with the Chiefs.
Yes.
I think they're going to come back and be even better.
No, I agree. I think if I'm being honest, right, to rank the teams that were in the playoffs this year for next year, I think it'll be the Bills 1. And I don't want to say Raiders 2, but I'm saying if they have a successful offseason, they could be 2. All bias aside, I'm just saying, depending on what they do this offseason. Now, I'm not saying that the Chiefs won't come back because they might be hungry for that. So let's talk AFC-wise. Out of the AFC teams that made the playoffs, I think the Bills might be the best team to come back. I think they're my favorites currently. Depending on what they do this free agency, if they can add more weapons and stuff and maybe get better defensively, they're my favorites. They can maybe come out of the AFC next year because I think they'll be hungry.
I want to add something. They just announced that Ken Dorsey was their offensive coordinator, which he did a pretty good job as quarterback's coach. So it shouldn't be too bad. They have a younger mind there.
Yeah.
But I think the Bills will probably have the most success of the playoff teams going into next year.
Yeah,
it's got to be the Bills because with the Chiefs, they're gonna have those salary cap issues.
Yes,
they paid Mahomes the trucks. Yeah.
So on to the next question. So we said Bills for AFC. For the NFC next year, because I'm sorry, right now, I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't think the Rams are gonna come back and be even better next year. I'm gonna be honest. They're gonna have that salary issue, and they have to pay Odell, Vaughn, and all those guys.
Mm-hmm.
What team comes out and makes the most improvements out of the teams that made the AFC or the NFC playoffs, right? Because I'm gonna be honest, I think
there's not a clear-cut winner here.
I think there might be I'm gonna say it might be the 49ers. I'll be honest, it might be the 49ers. Because
if they can stay healthy, that's the big issue.
Here's my point, right? If they come back next year healthy, right? and they have a Trey Lance, who I'm telling you right now cannot be any worse than Jimmy G. I think they might make it out of the NFC, and if they can add more weapons, I think they're one of the most. Let's be honest, they're one of the most physical teams in the league. If they keep everyone and they move and they keep getting better, they're going to be that team. Now, I just want to make everyone clear this. Washington football team, I've done 3 videos so far of like 20 to 30 seconds. So we have clips for our new Instagram when we make it, right? Just so you know.
All right.
But like, yeah, I don't know. So let's say this, right?
Mhm.
Actually, the next thing I want to mention is Tom Brady.
How about we talk about teams that made the playoffs who are going to miss the playoffs next year?
Okay, yeah. How about this? So the AFC. What's that? Let me. I'm gonna post one more clip. I'm gonna get at least two more clips, right? Out of the how about this? Out of the AFC now, reverse the question. What team is most likely to miss the playoffs next year?
Steelers, Patriots,
Let's
and
I think
Raiders.
it's depending on what the Raiders do, I think they'll be up there.
Yeah.
What's that? Maybe the Bengals, because let's be honest, if the Steelers get a quarterback and the Ravens stay healthy, those are the two teams that might come out. And if the Browns can get
Steelers need no line too, so there's that issue as well.
And I think the Browns are going to be an up and coming team once they can find an actual quarterback. I'm just saying. So as our pick, the Steelers. I think
but that's once they find one, and that's not like.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, and I'm gonna say it's probably the Steelers.
Yeah, most likely the Steelers, because especially if they have Mason Rudolph or Dwayne
Steelers.
Haskins at quarterback.
Okay,
Yeah.
So then for the NFC, what team do you think? Yes, that's my pick, right? The NFC, what team that made the playoffs is most likely to miss the playoffs next year?
There's a lot of them.
Eagles.
So let's go down the line, right? Let's look at the Packers. Let's be honest, they're in a cap space.
No, Buccaneers. That's the easiest. It's the Bucks.
Oh yeah, because Tom Brady retired, but also the Packers with the salary cap issues.
Well, okay, let's be honest, right? Kyle Trask was pretty good.
Jordan Love. They have Jordan Love, so they still have potential.
Jordan Love. When they had Jordan Love, they played horribly. So yeah, Packers are also.
Wait. We're mentioning Jordan Love before Kyle Trask, who was a Heisman candidate and just came from being behind the greatest quarterback. I think he has potential. Just saying. I mean, let's be honest. I think
he has potential, but he's good, but like he doesn't have his Kyle Pitts. He had Kadarius Toney. He doesn't have those guys now. I don't think he's gonna.
Like I said, if I'm being honest,
that much.
I think he still has Mike Evans. He's still gonna have a Mike Evans and Leonard Fournette, and he'll actually have a run game, and he'll have an offensive line. I think Kyle Trask deserves a chance as a starting quarterback of the Buccaneers, because I saw the article written. They were saying Carson Wentz has some of the highest odds to become their next quarterback. Why not just give the young quarterback a chance? This guy can definitely become something. He was great in college. He was a Heisman candidate, and he came from behind Tom Brady. Like, I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. I think he deserves a chance to become a starting quarterback next year if he can win a starting job.
Honestly, I'd be fine with that. I'd be fine with them starting because they put that. That's the best case scenario for my team. So
I'm just saying. I mean, can we not agree that this man might? I'm not saying he's gonna be the next Tom Brady, but I think he has higher potential than some of the not like the proven quarterbacks, but some of the younger quarterbacks like Mac Jones, because he didn't come from behind Tom Brady.
He would just the next logical successor to Tom Brady.
He was the successor, but he didn't learn from Tom Brady like how West got to. So I'm just saying that's a huge thing. But I think he deserves a chance.
But you can't say that because Jimmy G also was behind Tom Brady. He was supposed to be the next great thing. He never lived out to be anything. He's one of the worst.
I mean, if you think about,
he can't do anything.
I mean, yeah. I know, but again, Jimmy G wasn't one of the best quarterbacks in college either. He was never one of those guys. I mean, I never really heard about him in college.
Success.
Well, like I said, it matters to a certain extent.
Never relate to the NFL.
I know. I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm just And then, actually, we haven't mentioned this yet, but Tom Brady, as people may know, has announced his retirement from the NFL after 22 seasons and 7 Super Bowls. I think
11 appearances and a bajillion AFC championships and
this
over
guy,
1,000 wins and
yeah,
freaking crazy, bro.
He's the greatest quarterback in the NFL history. He is that guy. Tom Brady, happy retirement. I thought maybe you were coming back for one more season, if I'm being honest. I mean, after he was denied the first time, I thought maybe he's come back for one more season. He has a few records he can probably break. He's really close to them, but I don't know.
Yeah. All I can say is that the NFL will definitely be different next year without him.
Anymore.
Let's be honest. Probably the next quarterback.
My whole childhood is pretty much gone.
Yeah, now you just have to wait till Aaron Rodgers retired. No. But
that's it. That's all I have left.
That's pretty much.
Like I said, let's talk the Bengals and Chiefs and then the Rams and 49ers game since we do want to mention playoffs on this stream. Yes, again, I might hate the Chiefs, but God, I mean, they got cheated out of this game, from being fully honest. I didn't really notice that Joe Mixon had really fumbled.
No, honestly, we can't even give that to the Chiefs. You know why? Because the Chiefs honestly did that to themselves. There's no reason in hell they should have been in that overtime. There's no reason. The Chiefs did that to themselves.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
They had the game in control. And Mahomes choked.
Mahomes did choke.
Also,
if we want to mention this, in overtime, he did force the ball deep, but that interception was more on Tyreek. I'm sorry. What is it with Tyreek and deflecting the football off his hands? He's done this. He did this 8 times during the regular season. It was like he was being told not to catch the ball. He literally had his hands like this, ready to catch the football. And he just kicked it right to the defender. What the hell are you doing? It was terrible. And I'm not saying – listen, that was a great throw by Mahomes. That should have been caught. And I'm going to tell you right now, Tyreek, I'm blaming this loss 100% on you because that was horrible. Just saying.
I'm blaming it on the defense. I'm blaming it on the defense and the fact that and the inability to score any points after being up 21 to 3.
I want to mention
How do you not score another point?
I want to mention this also, right? Because Andy Reid, he's had a history of going conservative in the second halves. He's been part of blown leads consistently, and people keep mentioning him in names of the other greatest coaches. Do not ever mention this man in the mentions of the top 10 or top 15 coaches of all time. This man is something that he just I don't know what it is, man. What?
I don't know if you can really say he's not in the mention. I don't know if you can't really say he's not.
I mean,
he's let's be honest,
he's part of the team.
A lot with what he's had,
Look at what he's had, though. He's had great teams. And
Michael Vick. He made Michael Vick go to the NFC Championship 2 times, and that's whenever everybody was trashing Michael Vick. This was after he came out of the prison and stuff. He turned Michael Vick into a actually good pocket passer.
Well, listen, I'm just saying this man is part of one of the. I mean, he's choked in the playoffs so many times, and it's just something I don't know what it is with him in the playoffs, but he just loves choking in them because it's terrible. He choked against the Colts. That was one mentioned, I remember. He's choked in multiple other ones, and it's crazy. I don't know what it is with him in the playoffs. He gets hella conservative. I mean, Mahomes, great quarterback, but God, I don't know how it just that second half they fell apart as a team, and they need to fix it up this regular season. Even though we'll bring it up,
they need more defense.
But they're not gonna have money, so I don't know. I think they're gonna get worse as a team as time goes on. Their future is getting less and less bright because they just went out and paid a guy $500 million, which was probably dumb in a way of. Why are you paying the man damn near $50 million a year?
And it's a 10-year contract too.
Why are you paying
another thing.
A whole franchise?
I mean, dude, the guy's half the fucking cap space.
That man's net worth is worth a franchise.
I don't know. I think it was a bad contract. 10 years, $500 million. What the fuck? I don't know. I don't think any.
They're gonna regret it, like the Ravens regretted signing what's his name, Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco. Yeah.
And then the Rams 49ers. Tart, I'm gonna bring it up fourth quarter. I think you need to get that interception. You're the only one in even the area. You're like the only guy within a yardage of 5 yards of that ball. And I mean, if you catch that interception, we might be talking a different game here. We might be talking the 49ers and the Bengals. Just saying. But
that would have been an interesting Super Bowl in of itself.
Like I said, interesting enough, we're going to get to watch Joe Burrow and
Matthew Stafford.
Yep.
Matt Stafford. I have to go out and publicly say I am a Rams fan for this Super Bowl.
I mean, let's be honest.
I don't care who wins this game. I would be happy if the Rams, just because of Cooper Kupp.
Does anyone even care about the fucking Pro Bowl? Because I'm sorry.
I'd be happy if the Rams just because of OBJ.
No, I get it. Again, I'll be honest. I think the Pro Bowl this year is a joke. I want to bring that up.
The last entertaining Pro Bowl was when Sean Taylor hit stick that punter. That's it. That was the only Pro Bowl I remember enjoying.
Yeah.
No, the last entertaining. No. The last one that was entertaining was 2019, bro. That one was so lit, except for whenever that was the day that what's his name died.
Yeah. But the Pro Bowl, just
the 2019 Pro Bowl.
It literally is a popularity contest, to be fair. So yeah, but
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. How was
exactly?
I get it. I get Joe Burrow's in the Super Bowl, but why was he not named a Pro Bowl starter over Lamar Jackson, who missed 6 games? I'm just saying. I don't know. That's just my personal. And then you had what?
Popularity, like we said.
Yeah, no, it's terrible. I don't know. It was terrible this year. I'm not real. Let's be honest. I'm not going to watch the Pro Bowl this year. I think it's a joke. And I
don't ever watch the Pro Bowl anymore.
I haven't watched a single playoff game because I just don't like any of the teams that are in it. I literally could care. I wish they'd all just tie.
Nah. Everyone kept saying the Raiders and the Chargers were going to tie, and look what happened. They almost did. So Bengals and 49ers, I think, to be honest, I think the Rams might win it. You can call me, you can say, oh, the Bengals got Joe Burrow. Just shut the fuck up. They're not. I'm sorry. Bold prediction, but God, we might see Joe Burrow get sacked like 10 times. I'm not going to lie. He might come out of this game with a broken rib, broken back. I mean, dude, it's bad. Well.
Also, all right. Well, yeah. I guess with that, it also depends on how many interceptions Matthew Stafford throws. Like that.
They win this game if he plays it clean, but we've seen his inability to do that. I'm sorry, man. Matthew, as great of a quarterback as you are, you have an inability to throw the fucking football and play great, dude. This past game, this defense,
he literally threw it behind his receivers a lot.
This defense has won them these games. I'm sorry, Matthew Stafford. Yeah. I'm giving you credit as in, hey, you're in the Super Bowl, but if you don't have
Cooper Kupp and Odell Beckham Jr. definitely helped him out.
I mean, dude, he's made him look worse. He has. I'm sorry, it's crazy. Cooper Kupp is a great wide receiver, but Matthew Stafford, you are just hurting this man. Like, you're thrown behind him. It's the 49ers, they played as good of a game as you guys. And if they have any better of a quarterback, in the same terms, I'm going to say for Matt Ryan, I think if they had Matt Ryan in this game, they're beating Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford, you played a horrible game. I don't care if you won. Straight up, your game was horrible. You played as good of a game as Jimmy fucking G.
And literally, those 2 touchdowns were basically Cooper Kupp saving his butt.
Yeah, no, It was not a good game. But if I'm being honest, I got the Rams winning this. But maybe Joe Burrow wins this. Maybe because I'm sorry, but if Matthew Stafford goes for 2 picks, they're gonna lose this game. He might be the downfall of this team this game. He might be. I hate to say it.
Yeah. I mean, they made it to the Super Bowl, but there's a possibility they bust if Matthew Stafford.
Yeah. Well, this playoffs might have been the most entertaining, if I'm being honest. Every game's been pretty much close.
Except the wild card. The wild card was just ugh.
Outside of the Raiders and Bengals, and then the
Chiefs, Steelers, and then the Eagles, Buccaneers, and then I mean the 49ers, Cowboys was entertained, but only because the Cowboys lost. That was
like I said. Let's be honest. It was a close game. I think them and the Raiders games were the 2 best games of the wild card. The other games were just like, what the fuck are we doing?
Literally just getting rid of the weak teams.
I mean, I'm sorry, like Nick Sirianni is one of. I mean, he's dumb as a brick fucking wall, and somehow, like, I don't know what this man's been doing. I don't know that this man.
Literally, how do you lose that badly to the Jaguars with the playoffs on the line? That's ugh.
I don't know. And then we had the Colts. Yeah, that's something else we wanted to talk about because we actually we were dumb in week 16.
Yeah.
Entering the Raiders.
Literally.
So entering the Colts and Raiders, I'm going to put a little backstory behind this. Me and him at the time when we were watching the Colts on a 7-game winning streak had said these guys were dark horses to come out of the AFC. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty dumb.
They looked like it.
They were one of the best teams in the league. And then from the loss to the Raiders, which I said was going to be a good game, and I said we were going to lose. I said we were going to lose. I had no faith.
And then when they lost to the Buccaneers by a close score, that was like, okay, they lost to a good team by 1 score. So, yeah. So actually, those losses. But
entering the Raiders game, they won 8 of 9, and then they lost to the Raiders. I'm like, okay, this team's – I said the team had it in the bag. All they have to
do is beat the Jaguars. That's all. Yeah, that's literally all we said.
I heard Jag fans showed up in clown costumes, and their fucking organization goes out and wins the biggest game of the year. You know what? Crazy enough, the Jags had one of the weirdest seasons. Their 3 wins were some of the most impressive. They kept the Bills from playing a home game. They kept the Colts out of the playoffs. Who was their other win?
And Dolphins. The Dolphins was their other win.
Yeah, no, I know that. Well, they kept the Dolphins and the Colts.
Dolphins, Bills.
Oh yeah,
Dolphins, Bills, Colts.
Colts and the Dolphins were kept out of the playoffs because they lost to this team. Now, like I said, I don't get it, man. I really don't. Like, this team has a future, but only if they don't mess this higher up. Go fire Jim Balk for fuck's sake. Come on, it cannot be this hard to fire this guy. He's a terrible guy.
Remember, the Cons run this team. They have strange loyalty to the weirdest of people. Like, yeah. Like, you remember...
hey, if you don't want Leftwich, whatever.
But you mean to tell me you're going to downgrade in quality of a head coach just because you won't fire Balky? Ugh.
Yes!
I don't know what to tell you.
Yes!
What happened?
The Raiders have just announced they will not be bringing back our O-line coach. Thank the fucking Lord.
I figured they wouldn't.
You know what? And why did it take 3 weeks to announce it? Come on, man. I don't know. I just feel like this was too late. The guy is terrible. Go into retirement. Bye-bye. It's crazy what we do for our fucking guys. I mean, it's crazy. And then more news dropped today, guys. Outside of everything else we're talking about, Brian Flores has announced that he will be suing the Giants and the Broncos for
and the Dolphins.
And the Dolphins. Well, the Dolphins because I guess he was being offered money under the table behind. It was last year to go lose games because they wanted to get a higher draft pick. I guess. And then the Giants and the Broncos are being accused of racism. Broncos, I guess something was said that their GM showed up drunk. I don't know. Racist. I don't know. Whatever the fuck's going on over there. If everything's true, that'd be a little crazy. Mm-hmm. It's a crazy story. I don't think everything's dropped by, but the Giants, I guess, were just straight up racist. So my question is, when was this interview? Because they hired Brian Dable like 2 weeks ago. So when were they racist to you? I'm sorry. When did you go in for an interview? I don't know what you were going in for, but they had hired Brian Dable.
He figured his reasoning was it was a sham interview just to satisfy the Rooney Rule. That was his reasoning.
Okay, well, whatever, right? So then they should never have hired Brian Dable if they never followed through with the Rooney Rule, which, whatever, it is what it is. Or is he going to win these? I don't know. I guess we'll cover them more as the weeks go on. But as a Raider fan, you can tell I'm very happy we're not bringing back Tom Cable. It's just, what the fuck? I don't know why we ever had this guy. Let's be honest.
Because he was the Raiders head coach way back when and had loyalties to the Davis family. That was
I don't know what it is, but this Davis family needs to go. I'm sorry. I respect the hell out of Al Davis, but God, Mark Davis, dude. What is that?
Now you see why Al Davis tried to keep him out of operations.
Oh my God, yes. But what is that weird ass haircut? I don't know how you keep the same haircut for years on end, but God, you are ugly. You are one ugly motherfucker with that haircut. I mean, I don't think I have anything positive to say about Mark Davis. Like, the guy sucks in management. He has one of the weirdest haircuts I think I've ever seen. Like, what? What?
Yeah.
So, this was a great hour and a half NFL talk.
Yeah.
Everyone expect 2 to 3 of these a week. If you haven't subscribed,
probably 3 this week. Yeah. Maybe probably 3 this week because there will be the Washington name, NFC division, and of course more people coming on Saturday. So that could be, oh my gosh, we might be up until midnight for that one.
I would love to have like a 3-hour stream. You know what? Fuck it. I'm okay with that.
Why not? If it's good I can't English today. If it's good content, then yeah.
I mean, so Jesus Christ. Did not go down the right pipe. So we had 3 people, and we lasted for an hour and a half, guys. Now, one thing I must ask for you guys to do is please hit the subscribe button. Please continue to follow up and help the channel growth. We're aiming for 500 for the year, for the 1 year. Help us get there, right? Today's stream was very exciting. We might last for a 3 to 4 hour show on Saturday night, if I'm being honest. We're going to have like 6 people, maybe.
Well, 5 or at least 5, yeah.
And we'll keep it very. I mean, Saturday's show, we will actually probably be doing an NFL draft.
It'll probably just be an in general mishmash of.
We have NFL talk, as in like coaches. We'll talk NFL draft. We have Aaron Rodgers, Calvin Ridley looking to get traded. Aaron Rodgers apparently stuck in Green Bay. We'll talk more on this all. I don't think we have a Green Bay Packer fan here, but we'll figure it out, right? Saturday, if you guys want to see anything else, please message me, DM anyone part of my group, part of my team, Washington football team, WFT.punk right here. Go message him, DM me at lvraiders.media. Let us know what you guys want to see. Thursday's show is going to be very exciting. It'll be a little controversial. We'll see how that goes. We'll make personal positional rankings. Should be a very fun show for that. I have a very exciting future to work with this channel, have exciting people to work with. If everything goes right, we should have a very great team of minds alongside this, and everything will continue to grow. Just all we ask is to subscribe and maybe even shout out the channel if you guys can. We love to see the growth. We want to see everything go in, and we had multiple people in and out of the stream today. No one really commented today, but we're going to see how the streams go in the future. Very excited for the future of this channel. As I had mentioned, I have announced Eric here as the proud co-host of my channel, and we will be making a Instagram if you guys want to go follow that up. And we will make it probably after Saturday night's stream.
We just want to get a few streams in. Make sure you get familiar with many of the people that are going to be a part of this.
I actually got 4 to 5 clips to show up for the Instagram, so we'll post one Probably Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Just we have one per day. We'll see how the clips hit up, and I'm very excited for this channel.
And we could possibly have more from the other two shows, especially the Saturday one.
I'm going to guarantee you guys by the end of this week's 3 streams, we'll have 15 clips to show you guys. We might have to do more than 1 clip a day. I'm not going to lie. But yes, please check out the channel, subscribe. Me and this guy, Eric, came up with this big idea to grow as a team. I'm very excited, so we will see how this goes. Please subscribe, hit these guys up. Let everyone know what you guys want to see, and I'm very excited for the future of this channel. Thank you for anyone who came in today. Comment your thoughts in the down and below, and we're very happy. Thank you. I see you in a few. Bye.